and he says, "The gods envy us because we're mortal." What's up, guys? ShiShi here, back with another episode of ShiShi Meditations. And today I want to talk about a bit of a more serious topic, but it's something that's been on my mind and something I've experienced a little bit recently in my personal life. And I just want to talk about this because I think it's important to talk about these kinds of things. And my promise to you guys with this video series is to keep you in the loop with everything that's going on for me, and to be as vulnerable as possible, in the hopes that it can help out whoever watches these videos. So today I want to talk about death, and obviously death is something that, whether we are conscious of it or not, is pretty much in the back of our minds, at all times, and something that we're all acutely aware of, as a part of life. And obviously not something that we're thinking about 24/7 all the time, because if it was, then, that would be really difficult to live your life that way. But in this video, I want to talk about why I think without death and without the knowing, of our own mortality and that we're going to die, life would be a lot less meaningful, and ultimately a lot less beautiful. There's a really powerful quote from this movie Troy, that I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have seen, where Achilles, who's played by Brad Pitt, is talking before he goes into battle, and he says, "The gods envy us because we're mortal. Every moment is much more beautiful because we're doomed." And I think there's a lot of power in that statement. The very fact that we are mortal, and then compounded by the fact that many times we don't know when that moment of death is going to happen, both in our own life and in the lives of people that we care about and that we love, is really a constant reminder of the preciousness and the value of our life and our time here on this planet. And regardless of what your religious or spiritual, or scientific beliefs about death are, whether or not you believe that there's an afterlife, or you believe in heaven, or you believe that it all just ends and this is the only life we have, or you believe in reincarnation. I think there's a lot of different theories out there and everything, of course, but regardless of that, if you really take to heart the fact that death is an inevitable part of your life and that of everybody else on earth here, it really, really overpowers any reason to feel like you have a problem, or to complain, or to feel ungrateful to be alive. If you just kind of meditate on that idea that we are mortal. And I don't say that meaning to discount the fact that there are people on this earth, in incredibly challenging situations, both internally and externally. And it's sad but true that, for a lot of people on earth, death might even be a welcome reprieve from their current situation, that they might not have control over. But I think for all of us who, for one, can watch this video, and who can consciously kind of think about this, it's really valuable, I think, to just remind ourselves that without death, if we were just immortal, a lot of the preciousness and value of life and the things that we hold dear, whether it's relationships or our job or our purpose or art or whatever it is that we're passionate about, would lose a lot of their value. And it is the fact that they're impermanent and temporary that gives us kind of this urgency to dedicate ourselves to the things that we care about. I'm going to share just my personal belief about death, which again is not something that I'm trying to prescribe onto anyone or anything like that. But I was raised in a Hindu family and household that believes in reincarnation. So basically, the belief is that you kind of wear a life the way that, somebody wears clothes, somebody wears an outfit. So, if you look at your lifetime as like a full day, it's like you're born and you kind of come into this new body and personality and environment and context and situation. And then, at the end of your life, it's like you're taking off those clothes and then you wake up and you put on a new outfit, and that's your new life. That's the Hindu belief. I do believe in essentially like a form of that. I don't know if I necessarily completely agree with the way that it's laid out in the religion, but I think there's something to be said for the fact that matter cannot be destroyed, to my knowledge, scientifically, which I think is really interesting. And, there's actually pretty crazy stories of children. Most of these reportings have been found in India, but there's also stories of, there's some reportings of this happening in other parts of the world, including the United States. And you guys can look this up on your own if you're interested, of kids being born and basically having dreams or just remembering past lives to like a ridiculous, insane, non-plausible level of detail. So like kids remembering like what their name was in their past life and like remembering the auto shop that they worked at and all the people that worked there. And they've done some pretty crazy tests. And, obviously this is on the internet. So you take all that stuff with a grain of salt and you choose whether or not to believe in something like that. But again, regardless of what your beliefs are about what happens after we die, I think really coming to terms with our own mortality and not denying it, not trying to constantly distract ourselves from it with work or pleasure or whatever it is that we we do here as humans, and really just sitting with the fact that it is going to happen can infuse our lives with a sense of purpose and urgency to really dedicate ourselves to the people and the things that matter the most. I think it serves as basically a constant reminder that, we have a finite number of moments to fall in love with the reality in which we're living right now, and to create a reality for ourselves and others that we can fall in love with. And we don't know how many moments, those are for ourselves or the people that we care about and love. And I think just taking that deep fact to heart and just meditating on it can be a little frightening at first, because there is like a innate fear of death that's hardwired into us as animals that are here to try to survive. But I think the blessing of being a human being and being conscious of ourselves and knowing that we're going to die is that it gives us an opportunity to reflect on that and really make deliberate choices about how we want to live and sort of what we want to contribute to this earth during our short stay here. So I know that was like a super heavy video, but like I said, something that I've recently experienced in my own life, and I'm not going to go into detail about it, but yeah, I think it's really important to meditate on this. And like I said, these videos are my sort of commitment to myself and to you guys to share whatever I'm going through as honestly and vulnerably as I can. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. And yeah, I hope everybody has an amazing day and life, and talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.